want you to talk about your journey. How did you use this subject?
I actually was not good with maths when I was in school.
Okay.
And I wanted to do physiotherapy, but I figured out that I had to take science to do physiotherapy, and science means I had to take maths. And that's where I said, I don't want to do this. And but life has been kind of, I don't know, funny with me. Whenever I have said never say never, it has come back to haunt me. So, so numbers have always come back to me. I'm with banking and finance, but I wanted to be part of the mutual fund industry. So I worked very closely to set up a mutual fund, AMC in this country.
Okay.
And that's where this whole personal finance piece got me really interested. And then I did equity research for some US companies based out of India. And then this CFP kind of a thing had just about launched in the country, and that's where I got in. But before all of this, I worked for about 4 years in London. And one of my last year and a half that I did what I am doing now. This whole credit advisory and this piece. And one of those annual NRI holidays when I was here is where I had read about CIBIL starting in India. So I knew that this is what I want to be part of if and when I come back. But when I came back and I had no network. I had never worked in India before, so I had no contact, and it literally started out of my living room. So Rectify Credit, I still remember we went live the previous night, and the next day morning around 10:30, a guy called me from Pune and he said, "Madam, how much will you charge me and how do I contact you?" And I was like clueless because we didn't know how much to charge because we were the first ones. And as I was talking to him, my cooker whistle just went whoosh. So I was like, so that was how it started. So very soon
Brilliant.
I knew two things. I knew two things. I said I have to get out of the house because I don't want any cooker whistles anymore. And secondly, I also knew that there are clients who are willing to pay for our service. So which was a big confidence booster. And from there we went to strength to strength. And
could you just explain our viewers as to how does actually going ahead with the credit help someone's ambition and aspiration?
I would say yes and no to what you are saying. Traditionally, we were a society that was not a borrowing society. So my father's generation believed that, you only bought or did things what you could afford. So it was never that you could, my dad couldn't dream of taking a loan and going on a holiday, right? But today things have changed. Because there is dual income, the ability to borrow has increased, and the kind of lifestyle that we are all leading, I don't think any one of us can buy any asset without a debt component in it. So it starts from your plasma TV to your phone to your, your foreign holiday, your education, your property, your everything. So today, people who are looking at loan are looking at it differently, and people are more open to taking loans because it is also accessible. Earlier, the accessibility was also an issue. So today, there are people who are taking loan. Now, to answer the other part of your question, take a loan only if you really need the loan.
What is exactly moratorium?
Yeah.
And is it good for us? It may be harmful to us later in terms of the interest part.
In the month of March, when this lockdown got announced the first time, RBI came out and said that, we are giving a moratorium. So for 3 months, you need not pay your EMIs, you need not pay your credit card dues, and you can come back and pay that later. Right?
Okay.
And that got again extended, and now it is valid till 31st of August. Now, I have I have written in multiple places, and I'm still through you again reaching out to people. Don't say yes to moratorium if your cash flows have not been hit. Because please remember, in the financial domain, there are no free lunches. There is nobody here who's wanting to do social service. Okay.
Right.
So the whole agenda of this moratorium was to kind of create a feel good factor so that people think that you are not doomed and we are here to help. But when we read the fine print is when we figured out that okay, you don't pay for these 3 months or now 6 months, but the interest part is going to continue to accrue. And after the whole 6 months, your EMI tenure can be increased or will be increased. And there is still no clarity as to how is this going to be recovered. Whether banks are going to come back and say in the next 6 months, pay up for this 6-month EMI that you've not paid, or they are going to rework your EMI. There is no clarity from any of the bank as far as that is concerned.
In India, mostly I have seen a lot of people are taking loans in the names of the women in their houses. Many times the women are not even aware. Having said that, I have seen myself, a lot of my batchmates, they are taking loans, but most of it is, it's either repaid by the families or the male members of the house. And I believe you do a lot of work in making women understand the importance of financial independence.
So I would suggest that even where women are blindly signing, trust people. I'm not telling after this Insta, event, go and fight with the men in your house. I'm not asking you to do that. But what I'm saying is be aware. Be aware.
Right.
Because we live in very fragile times. We don't know what is going to happen the next moment. So don't be clueless, and we need not be damsels in distress.
Why do you say that you have a humanitarian perspective when you look at debt?
See, when you borrow, right? You borrow because you are looking to buy an asset, or you're looking to improve your current state of affairs, or you're looking to, you're aspiring for something, and that's why you borrow. Otherwise, nobody just goes and borrows for the heck of it.
Absolutely.
Now, having said that, tomorrow, and you borrow with the confidence that you will be able to support that borrowing and you are going to repay. Okay. Sometimes in life, the Excel spreadsheet doesn't go as per the formula.
Yes.
Things do turn up differently to what you've otherwise assumed. So, and sometimes the circumstance or things are beyond your control. You are not to be blamed in a sense.
Yes.
So to go back and give, grief to a defaulter, or go charge them a hefty fee saying that, you are such a big mess and I'm going to sort you, but you pay me so much and only then I'm going to further suck his blood where he's already dying. So that is not the philosophy that I come from. So that's where I say that, and Lord, every defaulter has a story. There's whole lot of things that have happened before he's really gone belly up. So if the system, and today unfortunately, with this whole internet banking, this whole customer care and this online banking machine, whatever, we have somewhere lost the human touch in this whole BFSI space. So people don't have the time. I don't blame them, but people don't have the time. The system doesn't encourage this interaction. So that is where people like us come into the picture, because we are able to listen to that story, understand that story, put that missing jigsaw piece in the puzzle and present it to the lender and say, boss, this is what has happened. Just see what can be done. The whole lot of things. So that is where I say that, debt needs to have a humanitarian approach. There is never a situation in life where you don't have an option. You always have a choice. even if you have the worst of the credit report, you have the worst of the credit scores, you still have enough and more options to improve, right? So
Yes. Okay.
and there are choices. So there are people who are committing suicide, who are going to going and divorcing, having nervous breakdowns. There are a whole lot of things going on. So I always tell people, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. It is very simple. The first thing, and if most of your viewers today are women, I would like to reach out to each one of you to say that numbers or finance is not complicated at all. It is just pure common sense. It is just pure common sense. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get bogged down by anything that someone puts in front of you. See, when we as women can do and excel in multitasking, अरे भाई number क्या है? कुछ भी नहीं है. Finance is really, it is very, very simple.